Hearty welcome on Monday evening at 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Today is 22nd of February, and we extend a very warm welcome to all our brothers and sisters across the world, wherever you are, different countries, different continents, different places. भारत के अलग अलग राज्यों में, शहरों में, गांव में, सेमी अर्बन, अर्बन, रूरल, जहां पर भी आप हैं, विश्व की सभी जगहें बहुत खूबसूरत हैं क्योंकि प्रकृति परमात्मा की और प्रकृति की देन है। आइए आज शाम को हम अपनी सीरीज में आगे चलते हैं। As we all recall that on 1st of February, the Honorable Finance Minister of India, she announced the budget. There were 6 verticals. Vertical number 4 was on education. And in education, she had given different parameters. And one of the area was 100 Sainik schools now to be established in PPP mode, that is public-private partnership. These 100 Sainik schools which have to come in continuation to existing Sainik schools, where the modus operandi, functional operation is altogether different. So इसका क्या स्वरूप होगा, इसका क्या रूप होगा, इनकी मैनेजमेंट कैसे होगी, इसकी इनोवेटिव स्ट्रेटजी क्या होनी चाहिए. So far we have done 12 programs and we got our retired and some of these serving brother officers. Those are from the Army Education Corps or from other organizations, but they have served with Sainik schools. तो ये हमारे जो 12 decorated soldiers, those had come over here right from the Major General to Colonel rank, they all had been a part of it. In this beautiful journey, आज मैं आपको लिए चल रहा हूँ एक हमारे डॉक्टर संजय कुमार बहल जी के साथ. इन्होंने सैनिक स्कूल नगरोटा में अपना योगदान दिया और वहाँ के सैनिक स्कूल के साथ जुड़े और उसके सैनिक स्कूल की प्रगति में, प्रोग्रेस में, डेवलपमेंट में इनका बहुत बड़ा प्रयास रहा. और आजकल ये डायरेक्टर हैं पिरामिड कॉलेज ऑफ बिजनेस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एंड मैनेजमेंट, और ये पंजाब टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी के अंडर है, फगवाड़ा में है, in the beautiful state of Punjab in India. So ladies and gentlemen, we extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Sanjay Kumar Bahalji. And before we start today's program, I wish to share a couple of slides so that Dr. Bahal भी हमारे साथ एक frequency में है और जो हमारे audience आज पहली बार जुड़ रहे हैं, they will also get an idea why are we having this series, what is the purpose of this program. So our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, which is basically a cradle and which is a confluence where we have got the non-resident Indians, we have got the Indian corporate, we have got various interface with the government, because from time to time, some action papers, some blueprints, some action plans, some strategies, some roadmaps, we keep giving to the government that अगर services sector में growth लानी है, तो उसमें क्या changes होने चाहिए. And during this particular pandemic, we have been focusing on education. जैसे doctors, nurses, paramedical people, they are great warriors. Let me share with all of you in a very humble way in the last about 40 years with the education sector that education leaders, education, people, those are delivering education, they are also great warriors. They have done a great job during this pandemic. 1.65 billion children were away from schools, colleges, and universities. Remarkable. You all are warriors. India always believes Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. That means the whole world is one family. And I basically believe education is the foundation of human development, world peace, global peace. और देखिए, बाकी सब चीजें बाद में आती हैं. सबसे पहले आपके पेट में भोजन होना चाहिए, आपका स्वास्थ्य ठीक होना चाहिए और आपकी सोच पॉजिटिव होनी चाहिए. उसी के बाद, क्योंकि मैं बहुत बार इस चीज को विचार पे मंथन करता हूं. Although I have devoted my whole life in travel, tourism, hospitality, airlines, all that I've devoted. But having studied all that today, when I look back at the whole thing, I realize I think the basic education and basic wellness and basic food, this should be the priority. Rest all is a luxury of life, and that should be taken separately and later. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, along with Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji, the Education Minister. On 29th of July, they gave a wonderful education policy, the new education policy. Now over here, there's a more focus on vocationals, on skills, on competencies, on capabilities, practical part of it. Education should be relevant to my day-to-day life because somebody may ask the question, what is the purpose of education? Why to get education? What is quality education? What is need-based education? What is holistic education? Well, we can talk about it. Honorable Prime Minister also talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat. The entire budget, when it started, it is dedicated and focused towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. 6 pillars of the union budget when we talk about it. So it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to understand over here. Pillar number 4, which is dedicated to education, is very important to us. These are the key reforms. These are the key highlights for the education sector in the budget. Pillar number 4, we have already discussed, and we are focusing on 100 new Sainik schools in the PPP mode, public-private partnership. The other day, I've done 6 programs already for entire 1 week. We have taken each segment of the budget of education, university, higher education commission of India, then skills part, and then 100 Sainik schools, then 15,000 pilot projects out of total schools. When you talk about 1.5 million schools, 15 lakh school है इंडिया में. फिर हमने एकलव्य की भी बातचीत किया, 750 एकलव्य model residential schools in tribal areas, and we talked about what kind of infrastructure to be developed in those tribal areas. Then we talked about skills also, and with skills, what MOUs we have signed. There are 37 sector skill councils also. I'm grateful to all these brother officers from the armed forces. They have done a commendable job. I'm so grateful to all of them. My deepest gratitudes and thanks to them. And ladies and gentlemen, this will go into records. Like today, Dr. Bahal has come. Tomorrow, his photograph will also get included here, because these are the veterans. These are the people. They have given lot of vision, wisdom, ideas, practical part, what all should be done in Sainik schools. We started with Colonel Sudhanshu Arya. We came to Colonel Inder Mohan. We moved to Colonel Amarjeet Singh. We moved to Colonel Palaramji. Then we moved to Major General Ranjit Singh ji. Then thereafter Colonel Dr. Mukherjee. Then thereafter Colonel Arun Datta. Thereafter Major General G.S. Gomanji. Then we had gone to Colonel Shekhar. Then we had gone to Major General S.S. Nair. Then we had gone to Colonel Rajendra Singh Nehra ji. And ladies and gentlemen, today we have got Dr. Bahal. And we strongly believe that education, when we talk about holistic education, the triangle gets completed, or education gets completed when you've got skills also, and there's a proper outcome of education, whether entrepreneurship or employment, whatever you want to focus on. Now, during the pandemic, we carried out the data synthesis from almost 152 countries. And the new order of the world on the sustainable, what we have got is basic food, basic health, and basic education. And to make India Atmanirbhar Bharat, it's very important. We have to focus on teachers and youth empowerment. That's something that's very important for all of us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 hours we are doing the beaming throughout the day. We start in the morning at 9:30, and you've got various programs, and they are live. Like this program is live on the YouTube. It's going on GS Motivator. You can join. There are 28 programs of ours. We are covering length and breadth of the globe, different continents and different countries and different areas, but all focused on education empowerment. This is the concept of finishing school we brought to India. And if you see Rashtriya Uchtar Shiksha Abhiyan policy, and if you see AICT website, on the home page itself, you'll find finishing school. We are proud to share that in 1994, we brought the concept of soft skills and life skills through the finishing school. So incubation center, finishing lab, Atal Tinkering Lab, if any support is required by anybody, we would be more than happy to support you. Women empowerment is very important. 8th of March, Monday, is going to be International Women Day. Let's save every drop of water. And that's going to be possible? It's possible, yes. Early in the morning at 9:30, we play a song for you. विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत. Thereafter, भारत के द्वार हैं खुले स्वागत में आपके. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant. And this evening, with Dr. Sanjay Kumar Behelji, let's hold little deliberations. What exactly is the union budget? What we have got of 2021? What is the concept in education empowerment of 100 Sainik schools? These 100 Sainik schools which should come up in our country in the PPP mode. Let's throw some light on that and get the wisdom, vision, and experience and reservoir of Dr. Sanjay Kumar Behelji's wisdom. Hearty welcome, sir. Pleasure to have you with us. It's indeed a great, great pleasure that you have joined us this evening. Let's hear you. What do you have to say? First of all, let's call the experience of your the association when you were with the Sainik School. Let's recall some good memories, some good experience from that, and then we will come to your present day task and further the PPP mode. How do you feel the Sainik School should come up? With these words, Dr. Sanjay Kumar Behelji.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome everyone on this topic where the central government in the union budget, Madam Sitharaman has very, thoughtfully came up with 100 more Sainik schools. What I believe it is more of the announcement and lot spade work has to be, initiated by one and all. Yes, I'm thankful to international chambers for service industry and especially Dr. Gulshanji for initiating this talk, because the day when I was listening this budget, I was also thinking that why not start a Sainik school. And yes, but again, resources and other things. And, once we become cozy in service, we don't take risk for becoming an entrepreneur. Though we may be teaching our students to become entrepreneurs and startups and whatnot, but yes, once we have to do it, and then we start thinking कि भैया अभी तो आधी जिंदगी खत्म हो गई है, क्या करोगे आगे. So wonderfully, crafted this topic, and yes, I was, thinking about pondering on this topic to start a Sainik school. And thank you, Dr. Gulshan, that wonderfully you have given me this platform where I can, come up with many of my, thought process. Because, many a time the thoughts comes and while you are driving or when you are sleeping, and when you get up, the thought process goes off or doesn't come in 100% same proportion and perception in which we were having that idea. To put across the things, I must apprise you that my grandfather was in Punjab Regiment, my father was in EME, my younger brother, he's Captain Ajay Kumar Bahal, he is the senior director with Sports Authority of India on deputation from Indian Navy. Of course, my dad also wanted me to get into the army or the services, and because of which, I joined Sainik School Nagrota. I was a medical rep with one of the pharmaceutical company while I was doing my B.Ed. So I did my BSc B.Ed, and date of my B.Ed result is date of my appointment with Sainik School Nagrota. And Group Captain Kuldeep Kumar, at that time he was wing commander, so he was the principal, and Colonel R.S. Gupta, because he is a person to, I will never forget in my life, because he was my first mentor, who taught me, because a person of 20 years old going to Sainik School as a teacher, and the students who might have done 1 or 2 years or 3 years less in their age in their date of birth certificates, he might be of the same age and of the 12th class. So once I joined, I learned a lot from Colonel R.S. Gupta. And after that, again, a stalwart had come to our school, uh, Major Kasturba Nandan Bhatt, K.N. Bhatt, who later retired as a Major General with Army Education Corps. So these two were really, first class mentors, who transfer our teaching style and our, reaction with the students. Uh, I was lucky, I tell you, because once I went to the Sainik School, I was the, junior, and I had a lot of opportunity to explore. Even on Sundays, many a time, the headmaster used to say, okay, take them for trekking. So I was the person, because I had no family at that time, was a youngster. So we used to take students even on Sunday. And because the Trikuta Hills were there, Mata Vaishno Devi was there. So that tour to Mata Vaishno Devi and Patni Top was a frequent, visits at those places. And then the NCC came. I was, when I went over there, I hardly might have spent 1 year when I was asked to take over as an NCC caretaker. Uh, because once I became an NCC officer and got into the training of the students, the parade and all those things happened. And I must put it that in 92, when I went for my NCC training, it was 116 course at Kamti. So I stood there as the best officer cadet out of 106, I think 120 people. So it is, the devotion, dedication, and discipline, which 3 Ds, I think, put together. Uh, Even today, you see, even yesterday, we lost one of my student, Colonel Vikas Gautam, from the signals. He had an heart attack and he was cremated yesterday. So nearly 350 officers in the Indian Army, Air Force, and Navy have been, I will not say credited to me, but yes, I have that much of influence that I, made their life. And many a time, because helping these students, because I have seen when they have come in 6th class, when they join, that fear and that, coming out from the comforts of, their mother and their own house, and coming into the, holding house. It's a great thing. But yes, once we ask the students even today who have become colonels and brigadiers, uh, uh, because I can say one of my student, Dheeraj Kotwal, who is with the vice chief of army staff. So all these students say कि sir, अगर हम सैनिक स्कूल नहीं आए होते तो जहां आज हैं वहां नहीं पहुंच पाते. It's 100% correct, and we can write it in that gold spirit. Now the thing is, the Sainik schools, are they getting their credit? See, if we go back, it was 5 King George military schools. Even today, these King George military schools comes under Ministry of Defense, that AG branch governs it. But these Sainik schools, once I joined in 1988, so I was lucky. I don't know, somehow or the other, I got the pension and all. I was lucky. I tell you, I don't know, God grace. When we joined, there was some court cases and all that, and somehow or the other, we got the pension and all. And Sainik schools were, said that the welfare of the people will be taken care of. Now, Sainik schools, they come under Sainik School Society. They are governed by Sainik School Society, which is under Ministry of Defense, and they're under Ministry of Defense. Even the Navodyas, which were formed, Jawaharlal Navodaya Vidyalaya, which formed later on, and where many of the Sainik school teachers went as principals, it comes under Ministry of Education, which was earlier Ministry of Human Resource Development. So still today, the teachers of Sainik schools feel that they are neglected lot. That is number one. Earlier, when the Sainik schools started in 1961-62, at that time, people left their college job because Sainik schools were paying more, because what the teachers have told me who were earlier with the Sainik schools, they said we were getting 420 rupees or 410 rupees at the college level, and we got 440 rupees at the Sainik school wherever we came. So it was a better proportion, and everybody was masters. There was no assistant masters or masters, and everybody was equal, and they were all doing, and brilliant, teachers were there. Like even in Sainik School Kapurthala, where my younger studied, I have a good association with Sainik School Kapurthala and their teachers. So people like Dhariwal, Professor Dhariwal sir, Alice was there. Then, great teachers were there. But now what we find that people have come to Sainik schools, कि कहीं नहीं मिला तो Sainik school आ गए. Clear? And those people are not dedicated. If we tell them कि भैया तू संडे को बच्चों को लेकर कहीं पिकनिक चले जाइए या ट्रैकिंग चले जाइए या माउंटेनिंग के लिए चले जाइए, बंदा कहता है जी मेरी फैमिली है, संडे तो एक ही संडे मिलता है. सर, ये सैनिक स्कूल्स जो हैं उसमें भी कई कैटेगरीज अभी हो गई हैं. There was a Sainik School Nagrota, there was a Sainik School Manasbal, which was run by the state government. Similarly, in Punjab, sir might be knowing, Kapurthala is there, then there is a Dashmesh Academy is there. Then even the Punjab Public School Naba is there. Then if we see, of course, the Haryana government has done it little better. Kunjpura has given very wonderful journals. But yes, they have come up now with a Sainik School Rewadi. State government is giving good money to that also. There was Sainik School Talaiya for Bihar, but once Bihar and Jharkhand separated, then with the leadership of Lalu Prasad ji and Rabdi Devi ji, two schools came up in Bihar, that is Nalanda and Gopalganj. Now, given this scenario, now government wants to set up 100 schools. Now, to set up a public school, it's a mandatory written 100 acres of land with infrastructure and limited recruitment. As Sainik School Nagrota has 450 sanctioned strength, Sainik School Kapurthala has 650, and the similar proportion is for the Sainik School Kunjpura. So what I believe, that they have come up with 100 Sainik school, but what is the reason behind it? Is it the demand supply of human resources for the forces, or is it for the discipline of the people? So that madam has not categorically cleared that what is the motive of these 100 Sainik schools. Are we not getting 100% manpower requirement for the armed forces? And if it's so, then there are other vellums are there. These Gwalior is the Scindia school is there. Their Mayo college is there. Government can initiate a dialogue with these schools, and BITS Pilani is there. Clear, there are good Chinmaya schools in south if we go. So see, these resources are there. But Sainik schools, we have only one motive: join NDA. One and only one goal is join NDA. That is only the goal. But that goal is also not fulfilled 100%. It is only, sometimes we have 20 students from a school. There is a this Raksha Mantri trophy for the schools to motivate more and more students into NDA. Sometimes 23, 25 a school sent, and sometimes 2 or 3, and sometimes it's a 0. So, basic infrastructure, which is now 100 schools, so 100 acres have to be there for each schools. But yes, nowadays, because the time is changing, 100 acres will not be available. 30, 40 acres, yes, we may have to go vertically. We may not get things horizontally. So that can be there. And then, we have to change the constitution of what the residential public school is, that 100 acres has to be neglected. Then the madam has said that NGOs and private players, societies, public schools, industry, yes. But once all these people will be there, I think Dr. Gulshan will agree with me. Nobody will come without profits. We have seen education, people have made it an industry. So money will be there. And once the money will be there, the real, cause for the development of these schools will be defeated. So government has to make it very clear what is the exact role for these 100 Sainik schools. Why they are calling it as Sainik schools? It's a very clear. There are near about 20,000 deficiencies of officers we have found, and best of the brains either go to US, foreign, or they land up in multinationals. So that is there. And as Dr. Gulshan has said, that the teachers, I agree. If we see the olden times, the Ramayana and Mahabharata has told us and has given, with proof that Dronacharya, Vashisht, clear, those types of teachers are required. See, we have worked in the Sainik schools, and as a house-masters, we have worked, as a mother also with that students, as a father also, as a friend also. So, and that is why even today, after becoming a colonel also or a brigadier also, that student calls and said, "Sir, I am in dilemma. What shall I do?" तो उसको कहा जाता है गीता देख ले, ठीक है, भगवत गीता जो है उसको पढ़ ले 5-7 बार, फिर भी नहीं पता लगता तो फिर बता देना, because Bhagavad Gita is very clear. So I tell you, I don't know how much far you will agree with or not. Teaching, have become a very, very, it's a far most profession which cannot be practiced by nowadays people, and there is a deficiency of good teachers. We do not find good teachers because a teacher has to be selfless, no materialistic requirement, only food and some shelter and some, and you see, if we see to our, the epics and all that, the Dronacharya and Bhisham and Vishishta, they were not having any materialistic thing, but kings used to honor them much more than the God. So that is what is required of a teacher of a Sainik schools. See, we have gone to the dorms in the night at 2 o'clock also. Clear? रात को नींद नहीं आती थी कि पता नहीं. And once people used to call me, ask from me, आपके कितने बच्चे हैं? So I used to say, I have got 150 children with me. बोला सर आपको कोई कौरव वाला तो नहीं कोई चक्कर है? बोला भैया कौरव वाला नहीं है, मगर जो मेरे हाउस में बच्चे हैं वो मेरे बच्चे हैं. तो रात के 2 बजे भी जब we used to visit the dorm and their rajai or their blanket was down, we used to pull that and put it on them so that ठंडी ना लग जाए, सुबह तक बीमार ना हो जाए. I'll just again, as Gulshan sir has said, I'll share 1 or 2 more, example, but don't take it otherwise. I am very I do the things which I like. Let people say anything, I don't bother about it. So that is why, I joined Sainik School as a BSc B.Ed, and there I did my PGDMM, Marketing and Sales Management Postgraduate Diploma. I did my MA English. I did my MBA. I did my even PhD from Jammu University, part-time. And you see, all my students, all my teachers, colleagues, all my officers over there, they helped me a lot. People used to study in the prep. Prep is a, studies while the student do it. I used to do my own reading. If the student has not come to me for asking any question, so I used to do my own work. I didn't wasted my time. So that is where I utilize my little time. I don't now, even if I try to find time to write a research paper, I'm not getting it, because from 9 to 5, I'm always occupied. And I tell you very frankly, being a teacher, we used to see the principal and we used to relish कि यार ये जिंदगी बड़ी अच्छी है कि ये घूमने वाली चेयर पे बैठ जाओ, लाल पेन हाथ में है, साइन करो और चले जाओ. But now we feel कि वो साइन करने में भी it requires a lot of decision making. It was very, very good that you go to a class and with chalk or with the marker, you teach the class, and that is end of the story. So we also dreamt कि यार हम भी ना कभी प्रिंसिपल बनेंगे, और वो लाइफ ने वहां तक धीरे 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 करते कराते वो ले आई. So teaching in Sainik School, I tell you, it has to be above pressure, above everything. And nowadays, please bear with me, that teachers are not of the category which are asked for in a residential school. They think that teaching 40 minutes is enough for them. That is immaterial. We have to groom the personality. And grooming the personality, you have to come by grooming them, by nurturing them, by making them learn table manners, by making them learn how to face the challenges, by putting them into the different situations. Because I was of a person who was very fascinated about mountaineering, trekking, and used to take students to Patni Top, and then from there we used to do trekking to Sanasar and Natha Top, and even the other tracks which we did it. And there was a lot of problems. Many a time what happens, it started raining when we went to Natha Top and were coming back trekking, and we lost near about 4 or 5 students, and in night, and we could only collect them at 12 or 1 in the night. So I mean, it's again learning, anything can happen, and that is what the defense forces want. They want confidence, they want communication, and they want commitment. So these 3 C's have to be there, and that is how they will become physically strong, mentally strong, and spiritually strong. Because we were lucky in Nagrota, we had students from Valley also who were Mohammedans, who were Muslims. We had Dogras who were Hindus. We had Sikhs. So it was a wonderful. And Gulshan sir, there was a problem of jhatka and your halal in the mess. And many a time, we told the students, you see, agreed. If you are not getting jhatka or halal, leave that here. Then with that understanding, they used to take it कि ठीक है सर अभी नहीं है तो मैं नहीं खाऊंगा. पर हमारी जब पीठ हो जाती तो बोला क्या फर्क पड़ता है, झटका हलाल है, so let us. But we didn't initiate it. We said ठीक है आप करिए, कोई बात नहीं, जैसे भी आप. I'll put across here, when there are rosas. So what used to happen, they used to take sevaiya and milk and other things, ingredients, and they used to keep it in the house and for consumption in the morning. So once I was taking a round at 11 or 12, I said, भाई ये दूध दाद कहाँ से आया, क्या आज क्या करना है, रात को इधर क्या चाय पीने का बंदोबस्त है कोई? तो they said nothing sir, ये ना सुबह के लिए रखा है. तो तो आई सेड ठीक है यार, सुबह के लिए रखा. तो आई डिडंट, बट वंस आई वेंट होम आई स्लेप्ट, एंड देन आई थॉट कि यार ये सुबह खाएंगे तो ये ठंडा खाएंगे, तो ये तो खराब है. आई अगेन वोक अप एंड वेंट. आई सेड लुक, मॉर्निंग 5 o'clock, क्योंकि नगरोटा यू नो हैव बीन प्लान्ड वेरी वेल. उसमें क्या है, जो हाउसेज हैं और हाउस मास्टर के घर हैं, वो उसका एक दरवाजा जो है वो हाउसेज की तरफ खुलता है. सो आई टोल्ड देम, ये दरवाजा खुला रहेगा, तुमने आना है, रसोई में अपने आप कर लेना है या मेरे को आवाज लगानी है, एंड हैव इट. यू सी, ये बच्चों को कर्टसी सिखानी पड़ती है, सिखानी पड़ेगी, हम्बलनेस सिखानी पड़ेगी. एंड आई एम ग्रेटफुल एंड टचवुड टू गॉड दैट our students whom we have groomed, they are doing wonderfully well. Then you know, this nowadays as I was telling you, the teachers, we are not finding good teachers for the residential schools, even after paying of so much of money to these people. And you know, they have to be, you know, out of the class, because you know we cannot take कि जी वो TGT ले लें, वो PGT ले लें. नहीं भैया, अगर ये बंदे बनाने हैं तो आपको प्रोफेसर्स टाइप बंदे चाहिए, चाहे उनको डेपुटेशन से IIT से लाइए या कहाँ से लाइए, वी डोंट नो. और अगर IIT वाला 9th क्लास को अगर या 7th क्लास को फिजिक्स पढ़ाएगा तो that will be something extraordinary, and this student will do something extraordinary in the, because you say India have lagged because of the education, because of the health. Many a time, if the student is good, but how or the other, because of the medical, he doesn't clear up, and that is what the problem happens. So my request is, either the government should make it very clearly that these 100 Sainik schools are for what purpose. Is it's a again cradle for the NDA, then it's okay. Otherwise, they will have to change its name or do something else, because residential schools, you know, if they want it in this way, that सौ खोल दो, डिसिप्लिन हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, उसके लिए we require lot of, you know, people from the army also. The 3 officers who are a registrar, and earlier they were called registrar, headmaster and principal. Nowadays principal, vice principal and adam officer they have started calling. I don't know what the vocabulary and other things may be better known to the Sainik School Society. But yes, you know, whatever the Sainik School Society in their parameters are doing, it's an excellent job. Again, I will put it, the inspections, and once they are doing inspection, I remind one, you know, there was Brigadier Sawant in 88-89. He was the inspecting officer, and we were told by R.S. Gupta, yes, inspection will be there tomorrow. And we came to the, you know, the PT ground at 6 o'clock, and we saw somebody at the distance standing. And when R.S. Gupta sahab went and near him, so he was Brigadier Sawant, who was staying in 16 Corps headquarters guest house. He took cycle of somebody at 5 o'clock and came to see कि भैया पीटी आप लोग 6 बजे शुरू करते हो कि नहीं करते हो. See, that is the, you know, devotion and dedication. Sorry, this is not coming up nowadays. So what I you know, put across that mean this sort of things have to be taken up by all of us. And as I told, that Johal Navodaya Vidyalayas which started, they of course I will not comment upon it, no remarks on it, but yes, it would have been done much better, and still there is a lot of scope. And starting a thing will not work. Government has to back it up. And yes, you know, people are there to do and give the results, but only when a proper, you know, framework is provided. Just by declaring कि 100 सैनिक स्कूल बना लो भाई, तो बन तो जाएंगे, जैसे नवोदया 450 के करीब खड़े हुए हैं, मगर आउटपुट क्या है, आउटकम क्या है? Once the outcome is not there, then what is the use of setting it and wasting the money on these issues? So they must, get across it. And if they don't want for the defense forces, they can call it as the Gurukul or something like that, where certain more emphasis on this personality development, or the IT sector or the manufacturing sector could be initiated. So this can be, there. Another thing nowadays, the principal, the registrar, the headmaster, the housemasters, and the teacher are fearing is the Supreme Court verdict on Ragda. Clear? कि भैया जो वो punishment है, वो क्या बोलते हैं उसको, physical punishment is banned. Agreed, sir. Physical punishment banned. But where we are sending, we are making soldiers. The officer is first soldier, and he has to be tough, and he has to understand what is right or wrong. He has to understand ethics. He has to understand ethos. And on making him understand ethos and ethics, some ragda have to be there. Even Ram had ragda from Vashisht. Even Arjun had lot of ragda from Vishwamitra. Magar, and officers, I am reminded over here, the first principal of Sainik School Nagrota, he was Commander Seth. And today also, those people who are in the university, like first batch, 1971 batch, Sainik School Nagrota started in 1971. Out of that first batch, Major General Bedi has retired. Even Major General Raina sir has retired. There are one politician, Harshdev Singh, he is also there. Then Keshav Sharma, who is in the Department of Management at Jammu University, he is still there. Then there is Deepak Sharma, he is still there in the department, the business school. Then there is Mr. Baloria, who is from the Jammu and Kashmir Grameen Bank and all that. So this first batch people, they sometimes tell us, Commander Seth used to call them to their house, to his house, and used to teach how to eat, how to catch fork and spoon. Hardly any principal do it, even of the public school nowadays. Then when they used to go for the exam, madam of Commander Seth used to go and put tilak, kumkum on the forehead of the students, कि बेटा लड़ाई करने जा रहे हो, वार में जो एग्जाम है, it's like a war. So those associations still after we see 60 years, students remember. That is what Commander Seth earned as a teacher. So that is what is required. Another thing which the Sainik School has and other public school doesn't have is the that house activities, that fighting spirit, that cock house. My house has to be number one. I have to beat him, even in sports, even in co-curricular activities, even in studies, because these three things get together to get the trophy of the cock house. So a housemaster, always like a leader, has to pump his students कि भैया देख लेना, कोई छुट्टी नहीं जाएगा अगर कॉक हाउस नहीं बना, अगर तुम लोग हार गए कोई छुट्टी नहीं और रगड़ा मिलेगा संडे को. So that positive pressure makes the students come up with more and more qualities, with more and more endurance, with more and more courage. And that is the qualities which are required as an officer on the border. When the China came to Gulwan and Pangong Lake, how 10, 12 rounds of negotiations, 16-hour negotiations. That is the, that is how these students, and because, many schools have now started using classes as a house, but it may be their thought process. I don't convince with them. But yes, if a house is there, of course, yeah, junior, senior ka chalega. But we have seen that if the housemaster control is there, housemaster's understanding with the student is there. These are small things. These are small things. But every principal wants कि यार मेरे ऊपर ना कुछ आ जाए, इसीलिए आराम से चलने दो. वो नहीं है सर. तभी बच्चे वहां पर एसएसबी क्रैक नहीं कर पाएंगे. मेन रीजन उसका यही है कि इनको तो ग्रिल करना है, इनको तो रगड़ा मिलना है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट गई भाड़ में. कई प्रिंसिपल्स ऐसे होते हैं कि भैया ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या, मेरे को फांसी हो जाएगी, मेरे को कोर्ट ले जाओगे. बट कई बंदे डर के ही उसको इतना हो जाता है, वो पेरेंट क्या बोलेगा. अरे पेरेंट, वी हैव सीन पेरेंट सर, वी हैव किक्ड द स्टूडेंट. एक दो बार हुआ, एक दो टीचर के साथ, आई विल नॉट नेम. और मैथ्स की टीचर थी, उन्होंने शी वाज टीचिंग, और उन्होंने ऐसी लगाई कि उसकी बाजू टूट गई. बाजू टूट गई. पेरेंट केम, ही केम विद ए स्टिक. बोला मैडम ये लो, इसकी दूसरा हाथ भी तोड़ो, इसका पांव भी तोड़ो. इसको मैंने आपके पास भेजा इसलिए है कि ये ग्रूम हो, ये अफसर बने. ये अगर कुछ नहीं करता तोड़ दो, मुझे कोई परवाह नहीं है. हमने वो भी पेरेंट्स देखे हैं सर. एक पुंछ से पेरेंट था, मैंने उसको पता नहीं मार दिया और पता नहीं क्या हुआ, उसको थोड़ा रगड़ा ज्यादा मिल गया. तो ही रिपोर्टेड टू हिज फादर. तो हिज फादर केम, प्रिंसिपल कॉल्ड मी कि यार इसके फादर आ रहे हैं. तो मैं बोला ठीक है सर आ रहे हैं, तो अभी क्या कर सकते हैं. मैंने तो उसको अपनी तरफ से ग्राउंड में, जब उससे गोल नहीं हुआ तो फिर मैं थोड़ा सा उसको रगड़ा दिया कि बाकी आदमी भी गोल तो करना है, क्योंकि मैं हाउस मास्टर अगर हार जाऊंगा मेरी तो बेइज्जती हो जाएगी. ठीक है ना. वैसे तो इज्जत होती नहीं है, अगर थोड़ी बेइज्जती होगी तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है. तो व्हेन हिज फादर केम, ही केम, और आते ही उसने जूता उतार लिया और दे धड़ा. मैं बोला भाई साहब क्या हुआ. कहता यार मैंने इसको भेजा आपके पास पढ़ने के लिए, इसने आपकी रिपोर्ट कैसे कर दी, एक गुरु की रिपोर्ट कैसे कर दी, मेरे को कैसे कर दी. मैं उस बच्चे को भगा दिया. मैं बोला तू जा हाउस में दौड़ जा यहां से. देन हिज प्रिंसिपल केम. प्रिंसिपल थॉट कि मैं तो बोला मैंने तो कुछ और ही सोचा था. वेल ये तो, मैं बोला सर देखो, एक सही नियत के साथ अगर हम कुछ भी करते हैं, हमारा जो बेंट ऑफ माइंड है वो एक प्रोग्रेसिव और प्रोडक्टिव है, तो जो होता है होने दो. वो कृष्ण की तरह है कि भैया ये अपना हमने अपना जो कर्म है वो करना है. चाहे अगर देखिए गलतियां होंगी, आई एग्री. मैंने आपको बोला हाथ भी टूटा, फ्रैक्चर भी लगा, तो ठीक है. और ऐसा नहीं है कि जब वो आर्मी में जाएगा तो उसको गोली नहीं लगेगी या उसको कुछ होगा नहीं, या उसको वहां भी होगा. हम उसके लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं. हम उसको फूलों के बेड के ऊपर थोड़ी बैठने के लिए रखा हुआ है. मैनी ए टाइम पेरेंट्स आते हैं, दे आस्क स्टूडेंट, बेटा खाना मिला, बेटा बेड ठीक था, बेटा वो यूरिनल्स और वो आपके वॉशरूम्स ठीक है. आई हैव हार्डली, जो हमारे बच्चे उधर होते हैं उनके पेरेंट्स आके यही पूछते हैं नंबर कितने आए, कौन सा एनसीसी कैंप लगाया, ए सर्टिफिकेट में कितने नंबर आए, आरडी गया कि नहीं गया. सर खाना तो एक सरवाइव करना है ना. कई बार हमने ये भी संडे क्या होता है, एक और सैनिक स्कूलों में एक बड़ा अच्छा फैशन है कि सेकंड संडे दे ऑल पेरेंट्स कम टू मीट देयर वार्ड, और वो उसके लिए बड़ा कुछ बना के लाते हैं. और फिर जब जिनके पेरेंट्स नहीं आते हैं, जिनके पेरेंट्स कुछ लाए होते हैं, जिनके कुछ लाए होते हैं, जिनके नहीं आए होते हैं, वो उनसे थोड़ा सा छीनते हैं. उसको लोटी कहते हैं. और कई बार वो बच्चे करते हैं, बच्चे हैं, करेंगे, बंदर हैं, करेंगे, ये उसमें कोई बुरी बात नहीं है. होगा, ये तो सोसाइटी है. यस, उसमें आई हैव सीन कि जो फादर है या मदर भी मैंने कई बार देखा, दे वर आस्किंग कितना सिलेबस हुआ, कौन सा टॉपिक रह गया. एंड यस, आई हैव गॉट द फीडबैक, वेल सर ये जो है ना मैथ्स में इसके जो 2 हैं वो नहीं हुए, इसको उसमें डाउट आ रहा है, उसको यार करा दो. या सर वो ज्योग्राफी में इसको समझ में नहीं आया, ही वाज इन डिस्पेंसरी, उसको थोड़ा बुला के करवा दीजिए. सर मिट्टी के साथ मिट्टी होना पड़ेगा। जैसे किसान मिट्टी होता है, वैसे एक टीचर सैनिक स्कूल्स में होता है, उसको होना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज रिजल्ट्स नहीं निकलेंगे। बिकॉज जो सैनिक स्कूल्स में है, वी हैव टू कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन एकेडमिक्स, एग्रीड, बट वो 30% पार्ट है, 30% उसकी फिजिकल फिटनेस और उसका जो है ये स्पोर्ट्स is very important, and then the co-curricular activities 20%, and 20% should be the military training that we give through the NCC. That is very much required. My request to the central government or through you or wherever, sir, Sainik School Nagrota has got 100 acres of land. The intake is 450. Increase to 2000. Sainik School Kapurthala has got 600 acres of land. Intake is 600. Increase it to 5000. क्या जा रहा है भैया? 600 एकड़ लेकर बैठे हुए हो, कम से कम उसका कुछ यूज तो करो तो सही. And my another request is the teachers from the Sainik schools should be sent to IITs for say वो जो 2 महीने मिलते हैं ना जी, वो जो मई जून वाले, या इवन 1 महीना मिलता है दिसंबर में, वो एक बेस्ट टाइम है. IITs IIM भेजो, उनसे वो कोर्सेज करवाइए, सो दैट बिकॉज जब आप कोर्सेज करवाओगे इट विल बी डिसेमिनेटिंग इनटू द स्टूडेंट्स, दे विल नॉट लीव एनीथिंग, so, and the government should even post some of the best teachers even from AEC, even from the infantry ऑफिसर्स. वो 3 ऑफिसर से अलावा मैं कहता हूं और भी ऑफिसर भेज दो, और बच्चों को सिर्फ अगर 3-4 महीने पढ़ाया जाए, 2 महीने कंपलसरी इनको नेवी, एयरफोर्स और आर्मी यूनिट्स में भेज दिया जाए कि 15-15 बच्चे एक में चले जाओ जी, और इन बच्चों को बॉर्डर्स पे मतलब यूज किया जाए, और उनको पूरा जो है जैसे कहते हैं ना एक्टिव, सो दैट दे विल बी, 2 ही काम होंगे मैं सर, या तो वो हाईली मोटिवेटेड हो जाएंगे या फिर वो डर के भाग जाएंगे. और अगर डर के भाग जाएंगे तो अच्छा है, हम लोग उसके ऊपर अननेसेसरी मेहनत नहीं करेंगे. So these are some of the things which can be propagated, and say being a Sainik school teacher, वो साधु जैसा उसको रहना पड़ेगा, 24/7 डिवोशन है सर, उसके बगैर ये नहीं चलेगा. और अननेसेसरी आदमी को सैनिक स्कूल में आना ही नहीं चाहिए एज ए टीचर. जो ये सोचता है ना कि मैं एक उसके लिए आ रहा हूं, अपना आराम के लिए, या अपना कोई मुझे पैसे मिलेंगे, सर सबसे बड़ा पैसा है जब बंदे के रैंक लगा होता है और वो आके आपके घुटने में झुक जाए, तो ऐसा लगता है ये देश झुक गया आपके कदमों में. सो बस वही लेकर, और हमने आई टेल यू, हमने पैसे नहीं कमाए हैं, कई बार अपनी जेब से भी बच्चों को पैसे देकर हमने कहा कोई बात नहीं, बोला सर मेरे उधर से पैसे नहीं आए, वो कब आएंगे, कोई बात नहीं, चल कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक है. बोला सर आज हम जीत गए, आज तो आप पार्टी दो, बोला चलो कोई बात नहीं, ले आओ क्या लाना है. सो अच्छा, फिर होली, दिवाली, ठीक है, वी गेट, वो हाउस मास्टर एक अलाउंस मिलता है, और वो एक वो मिलता है बच्चों की ना, एक वो सर 20-20 रुपए एक मिलते हैं कि इनको एक हमने हर महीने वो देना है, टूथब्रश, टूथपेस्ट, साबन और ये वो. तो हमने तो सर यहां तक भी किया था कि जब बच्चों का एग्जाम है तो बच्चों को अपना पेन और वो सबको एक ही जैसे पेंसिल, सो दैट किसी से मांगे ना, उसी बजट में से. सो I again एक हमारे ना, he is no more, मिस्टर वी कुमार, वरिंदर कुमार थे, who left the कॉलेज जॉब, साइंस कॉलेज का ज्योग्राफी टीचर का जॉब छोड़ के, प्रोफेसर का, he joined सैनिक स्कूल नगरोटा. He was the holding house master. तो 6th में जब बच्चे छोटे छोटे आते हैं तो many a time they cry, क्योंकि उसको घर की याद आ जाती है. उनका हमेशा ये रहा था कि डिनर के बाद उन्होंने ढोलकी और हारमोनियम रखा हुआ था, एंड ही यूज्ड टू डांस विद स्टूडेंट्स, और उनको इतना थका देते थे कि वो सो जाते थे, और वो अपने घर के बारे में, या वो उनको सुबह जब वो उठते थे तब याद आती थी, बिकॉज वहां जो 10 दिन होते हैं जब बच्चे होल्डिंग हाउस में आते हैं, वो 10 दिन जो हैं वो बड़े इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं। उसमें कई बार तो बच्चा बोलता है जी मैंने तो रहना ही नहीं है, भैया भाग जाता है। उसकी माँ का भी कसूर होता है, माँ भी उसको, आजकल तो फोन आ गए हैं, हेलो मम्मा, तो उस समय तो कोई फोन भी नहीं था, इतना भी नहीं था, पर माँ भी कई बार बच्चों को ज्यादा कर देती थी, तो उस समय भी हो जाता था। सर आई विल पुट इट फ्यू नेम्स आल्सो। एक कर्नल रत्नाकर रहे हैं, इफ यू, so he was also the principal over there. I have met him only once. I met even Commander Seth because वो मेरे से पहले थे, मैंने तुमसे मिला नहीं, but Colonel अपना Group Captain Kuldeep Kumar was yes my principal, and then Colonel Kishan Gopal was there, Commander Verma was there, Commander S.S. Ray was there, Colonel S.C. Basu was there. So they were the principals, and yes, last when I left, Malik sir was there, Group Captain Malik. So as a teacher, we have seen nearly 10 or nearly 10 or 12 principals and 10 or 12 headmasters. And if I put it, I started with Colonel R.S. Gupta, Major Kasturba Nandan Bhatt. I many a time even talked to him even now. Then Major R.K. Chaudhary, he is no more. And then Major D.B. Carr, I think he's still in the services. So these were the certain people, who influenced and who gave, you do whatever you like, go ahead. And, K.N. Bhatt was so, supportive that we planned a visit of 60 students to NDA, Mumbai, the Lions Gate, that naval area. And that free hand has to be given by the and yes, we were so pioneer. We took the students even to Bihar, Rajgir and all those places. We took the students to even Delhi, this trade fairs. We took the students even to Leh. So how the people propagate these students and how the leaders influence. And to put across, again, we were in dilemma, I tell you, Dr. Gulshan, when one of our taught student, Major Sunil Pandita from Jack Rifle, whom we taught, he came as a registrar to Sainik School Nagarota. And this boy, went at least 4 or 5 trips with me. And we were in dilemma कि यार ये बंदा जो है अभी ये बॉस हो गया है, अभी इसको तो पढ़ाया हुआ, अभी ये कौन सा dilemma कैसे करें. And before we could try to find out, he came to me and said कि सर मेरे लिए आप वही टीचर हैं, मैं आपका वही स्टूडेंट हूं, सिर्फ बाकियों के सामने आपने देखना है, अकेले में you can straight away come into my office, you can dictate me the terms, I am ready. मगर वैसे हमने मौका आने ही नहीं दिया. Another dilemma sir पिछले हफ्ते ही हुआ, when again one of my student, Major Junaid Bini, he is from Armored Corps, he came to Sainik School Kapurthala as a registrar, as a Adam officer. So he came and he said कि सर मैं आपके तो बहुत पास में हूँ, because I stay at Kapurthala Road. So he just walked in. मैं कहा यार पहले जुनेद हम सैनिक स्कूल कपूरथला आ जाते थे आराम से, अभी तू आ गया है, अभी सोचना पड़ेगा. बोला क्या सर सोचना पड़ेगा? मैं कहा नहीं यार थोड़ा सा डर लगता है, तुम अफसर आदमी हम मास्टर. तो बोला सर अगर पहुंचे हैं तो आप ही के कारण पहुंचे हैं. So that is the our job satisfaction. That is where when in the morning when Colonel Inder told me that you have to speak on Sainik schools, पहले तो मैंने बोला यार 9 से 5 बजे तक इधर बैठे रहेंगे. फिर मैंने बोला नहीं, because this is our bread and butter. What we are today is because of the Sainik schools. What we are, because we have, see, the principal might not have seen us. But we have seen how the principals have worked. We have seen how they have taken a decisions, good or bad, because at that time it implemented on us. We never thought. But today, once we are in a problem, we think how he solved, and that is where we get the answer, and we are successful in our life. So, as in Sainik schools, we have people from NCC, we have people from the infantries to train for the NCC, because NCC is compulsory. Yes, NCC should be compulsory. I tell you, sir, I tried 2 3 times. I went to the NCC directorate over here asking with folded hand, give me NCC for my students, but nobody adhered. हमारे पास तो ट्रुप नहीं है, हमारे पास ये नहीं है. मैं बोला किसी से ले दे भाई, कैसे कर दे, nothing. So NCC training is there, and whoever is, see, I am an ex NCC teacher or a caretaker or whatever, the ANO they call it, associate NCC officer. So at least सुन के दे दो भाई, कर रहा है वो बंदा, उसको करने दो. ये 100 तो खोलेंगे, पर क्या उनको 100% आप एनसीसी दे देंगे? अब वो बताइए ना, आप उसका भी जुगाड़ करिए. फिर स्पोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया को बोलिए कि उसमें अपना स्पोर्ट्स के इक्विपमेंट दें. फिर भाई काम करना है तो अच्छी तरह करो. अगर वो मैडम 10 बोल देती या 20 बोल देती या 30 बोल देती कि हर एक स्टेट में एक एक होगा, अभी 100 बोल दिया, अभी रिसोर्सेज तो दे दो भाई, या बता दो हमें कहां से लेना है, हम ले लेंगे. सो दिस इज अगर खोलने हैं 100 सैनिक स्कूल, तो इट शुड बी मिनी एनडीएस. इट शुड बी समथिंग डिसेंट. वो जवाहर नवोदय विद्यालय की तरह उसका जो है वो मत करिए. अगर खोलने हैं सैनिक स्कूल की, पहले भी बड़ी वो मतलब हो रही है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स पैसा नहीं दे रही हैं, तो there is a lot many things. वो ताली एक हाथ से नहीं, कई हाथों से बजती है. अभी क्या, I don't want to comment upon it. And what the Sainik schools should propagate should be with the new ideas, and visiting to the IITs, visiting to the ISRO, visiting to the BEML, Bharat Earth Mover Limited, visiting to HAL. So with that thought process, big thought process, I mean, those things should come up, and yes, they should have regular, seminars and all that, as it happens in Staff College, Army Staff College, Wellington. Clear? People from IB should come and tell them. People should, because I know when I was in Nagrota, Major General Raghavan was there, who was looking after this Saichen Glacier. So he came and gave one Saichen presentation to the students and all that. And we were very, that was very informative, and we were informed in a very, very crystal clear that this is what the Saichen problem is. So this is what is required, because if leaders have to be made, we have to, pump them with best of the, thought process, ideas, innovations. So this has to be there. And then even the officers who are going to these Sainik schools, they have to come out of their cocoon and grill these students, even with the night marches, adaptability, and with camping and grilling, because those schools have prospered with that. Batches have gone to NDA, where the principals, headmasters have clubbed with these students and told them, okay, come. And even if Colonel Ratnakar used to give punishment, he used to make the students stand and used to read the book in front of them. And mostly the World War II, some novels. Even the students remember now कि यार वो वाला जो था ना, वो पकाने वाला, वो बड़ा बढ़िया तरीका था हमको तंग करने का. ना मारना, ना कुछ करना, वो ठंड में खड़े कर देना और खुद किताब पढ़ रहे हैं बैठ के, कंबल लेके, अपना लोई लेके. So I mean, that is the new things, and yes, that is what is required nowadays. So coming again, one very, you may take me the other way around, but now the government have even allowed the girls to come into the Sainik schools, and few of these schools have even started initiating that process in the 6th class. Yes, they can take, but then again, the Sainik school should have a good boundary, because our culture, of 5,000 year do not allow most of the girls to come as a warrior. Yes, Razia Sultan and Padmini and Rani ki Jhansi are there, but they are very few if you we file them up with the other gender. But yes, if the government have that much of thought process, then they will have to think on the better facilities and other things for the Sainik schools. And another submission for the Sainik school is that we are taking the students in 9th as well as 11th class, which they started or experimentally or whatever. So what I believe, the students should be only taken in 5th or 6th, as previously we were doing. And because वो ट्रेनिंग नहीं हो पाता, वो 3-4 साल जो छूट गया वो कौन कैसे होगा, वो नहीं हो पाएगा. So that can be taken. And now with artificial intelligence, with robotics, with blockchains, cloud computing, aero modeling, shipbuilding, gunnery, tactics, arm and ammunition, and engineering equipment, and yes, even a visit to the Saichen glaciers. Yes, the strong student should be initiated. देखिए, करने को इस देश में बहुत कुछ है, मगर हम क्या करते हैं, सिर्फ बातें करते हैं. अभी ये बातें करने के लिए हमें एक और डब्बा मिल गया, ये ऑनलाइन, ठीक है, जिसमें कोई पैसा नहीं लगता है, कोई समोसा नहीं हमने खिलाना है, या कोई किसी को रेम्यूनराइजेशन नहीं देना है. मगर जो भी है, जैसे भी है, we have to be very, very, productive. We have to initiate the best of the, resources available. इस देश में करने के लिए बहुत है. और ऐसा लगता है कि हमने 300-400 सालों में कुछ नहीं किया, क्योंकि कई प्रॉब्लम्स रही. ब्रिटिशर्स वर देयर, देन अदर प्रॉब्लम्स वर देयर. वहां तक ठीक था, अकबर तक ठीक था, अकबर तक ठीक आए हम. मगर अकबर के बाद जब एक बार पूरा इंफ्रा खत्म हो गया, उसको अभी उठाने में टाइम लग रहा है, टाइम लगेगा, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. बट थिंग्स आर ऑल अंडर आवर thing. And if we have to think positively for the Sainik schools, I think the Ministry of Defense has to take under their command. And yes, they can give it to the private sectors, no problem. Like Tatas are manufacturing the Howard's guns, they are manufacturing. Clear? But there should be stringent rules and regulations. There's no problem. We can, and they should define the outcome of these 100 Sainik schools. Exactly what do the government want? And they have to categorically say कि भैया एनडीए के लिए हमें ये चाहिए, इनको ट्रेन करके हमको दे दीजिए, हम वो दे देंगे. अगर वो चाहते हैं कि हमें कॉर्पोरेट लीडर्स चाहिए, वो भी दे देंगे. अगर वो चाहते हैं कि हमें साइंटिस्ट, इंजीनियर्स, डॉक्टर चाहिए, वो भी दे देंगे. मगर होता क्या है, सैनिक स्कूल्स में कई लोग आते हैं, वो एक अच्छी एजुकेशन लेकर भागने के चक्कर में आते हैं. वो एजुकेशन लेकर, दिस बॉय कैन डू मच बेटर इन एनडीए, बट ही सेज आई डोंट वांट एनडीए, मैं तो आईआईटी में जाऊंगा. वो वहां एजुकेशन लेकर उधर को निकल जाता है. सो there are loopholes, people bend the rules, people do it. And yes, teachers, we have to make teachers. देखिए, even Sainik schools में, what I have had with me, I was a fresher as a teacher. मैंने उससे पहले कभी पढ़ाया नहीं था, बट जब शुरू किया तो कहीं से कहीं पहुंच गया. And what I am today is all because of what I learnt over there. Even today, even at the college level, I train my MBA students in the interview, just the way I learned how the SSB of the students have to be cracked. So what I am here, I should, make it very clearly because of the principals, headmasters, registrars, my colleagues, and even my students in Sainik School Nagarota. And yes, few others whom I knew in Sainik School, uh, Kapurthala and in Kunjpura. I happened to do 2-3 times in service training in Kunjpura and Sujanpur Tira. And yes, and yes, people, I tell you, I should share with you, people used to call me a revolutionary कि ये आदमी उल्टा ही चलता है, ये आदमी he only sees the results, he only get to the work clear. Because and many were envy of me also कि ये यार ये क्यों ओवर इनिशिएटिव लेता है, क्यों ये करता है. तो यस, अगर मैं किया, ओवर इनिशिएटिव में किया या किया, all because of my student, all because of my country. I took them to even passing out parades of IMA, I took them to the passing out parade of the NDA, I took them to the this Lions Gate, made them visit the ship when my younger was there with the Indian Navy at this minesweepers and all that. So yes, I did it. Whatever was in my hand, whatever I could do for my students. But yes, I did little. I should have done much more. And जिंदगी रही तो चलिए फिर करेंगे कुछ. अभी तो इतना ही है और इसके अलावा अभी तक कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure. What a pleasure. It's a treat to have you with us today. Wonderful session, such a innovative, creative, practical, pragmatic, futuristic, realistic, ground related programs, and all the problems, packaging issues and relevance, and ultimately the question which comes over here is, the Honorable Finance Minister got to give the clear-cut blueprint. What is the objective and purpose of these 100 Sainik schools which have to come up? And I'm so grateful to you, sir, for having spared your most valuable time to join us this evening. I'm so grateful to Colonel Inder Mohan for connecting us. I know, sir, for last about 10 plus years. He's a wonderful person, wonderful soul, and great connector, very humble, very polite. So you have given the insight, and each and every, incident, or I can say the reminiscence and remembrance and whatsoever you have connected to your 1971 onward journey. And I'm so grateful when finally you mentioned that today also, when you're training your MBA and other students, is the foundation basically, which you picked up from the Sainik School. One last point, sir. What did you tell that how much is the land at Kapurthala at present?
There's 600 acres land, sir.
Okay, 600 acre lands. So the thing is, we can have more students over there if it get 600 acre. Why I'm remembering? Because in 1995, on the stairs of the Kapurthala Sainik School, Brigadier Jasjeet Singh over there, the Maharaja, and we had done General Panag's daughter, Gul Panag. For the first time, she walked the ramp, and that was Punjab through ages. Historical perspective, traditional tourism-based costume show we had done in Kapurthala. Sainik's call that grandeur the front, and when the lights were put over there, I still recall, I'm talking about 1995. It was a great journey, and I really enjoyed each and every moment over there. Any final take you would like to give as a piece of advice to the youngster and to the youth of our country before we close the session?
Sir, I have not grown that much. I'm still, learning from all the people and slowly and steadily. But three things are very, many a time disturb me, that people must take the ethics very clearly, and the dilemma in their life should be, erased with the help of a razor called ethics. They must believe in that, and because that is our backbone of 5,000-year-old culture, and that is where we have to build up ourselves, our youth, and because we are a country of 135 crores where we have got the largest number of youth at this time, and in coming 10-15 years, if we can make it as a world most developed country, it will be depending upon how we take our decisions and how we neglect our dilemmas depending upon our ethics and Indian ethos. So this is number one. Number two, we have to take care of our health. That is very important, because if we will not be healthy, we will be wasting of our resources and even time, and we will not be that much of I mean productive and progressive. So we have to take care of health, do some exercises. Yoga is one, and if we can't do yoga, then we should eat less. We should not put more burden on the food grain, and कम खाएंगे तो वो जल्दी पच जाएगा, उसके लिए एक्सरसाइज भी नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. So that but yes, we have to take care of our health ourselves. Nobody, even the wife or even the father or even nobody is going to take care of our health. We have to do it on our own. This is the second point. And third but not the least is that we have to be innovative, creative, and we have to shed our conventional way of thinking and doing work. And we have to always see that how we can take India into a new Atmanirbhar Bharat and new uh, spheres, because India is still far, far, far behind than the other countries in space. We are just 2% of the GDP, and if we take the manufacturing also, our innovation is a little backward. But yes, we have got certain positivity, as our stock market is doing wonderfully well, our financial market doing well, our automobile industry, and yes, now even our defense industry is coming up. But what it just 3 or 4% of the world market. But even if we grow it by 10%, I tell you, it will be adding to our GDP. And yes, the time is less, and we have to do much more. So once again, I thank Gulshan sir, I thank Inder sir, that this golden opportunity have been given to me. And yes, the thing which I was having to express about my school, about the cradle, which give me the money for my survival and money for my learning. And yes, I learned a lot. The moment I entered Sainik School Nagarota, I started learning, and once I left it, and after that I wanted to do my LLB, I wanted to do my postdoctorate, but because I was so much involved in the petty issues, वो जो मुझे वो प्रिंसिपल की कुर्सी जो दिखती थी कि इतना आसान है काम, वो इतना आसान नहीं रहा. और चलिए, आगे आने वाले टाइम में if things will be favorable, I will look for some more upgradation. So I request everyone to be innovative, to be having creativity, look after their health, and last but
Ethics.
not
Ethics.
least is that look after themselves. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very kind
Any
of you.
questions? Any
And
questions?
no, it's fine, sir. Perfectly fine. We wanted to take your insight. We wanted to have your inputs. So that has come because
But
we are.
yes, I have a dream that yes, if the government can give me 30-40 acres of land and some 5-6 crore of rupees, I will pay them after 5 years. But yes, I will take it vertically, and yes, we'll think of, because I'm thinking of an integrated model where we can have a school, we can have a college, we can have an industry, and the student should be working in the industry, and a model where the new aspects and new, because see, The Maruti cannot, always manufacture Alto, or Toyota cannot always manufacture Innova. They have to think, and the time is coming where the new concepts have to be, gradient after every, short interval, because the taste of people have money, people, will get across with the new ideas and new products and new things. So my, dream is that yes, we must have an integrated model, and yes, even the pensions of the people, the government has only Mantri and Santri have the pension. The people in the defense and the MP MLA have the pension. So people after 2004, even the police and the other people don't have the pension. So what I believe, in 2025 and above, there will be a lot of social unrest. The son and other, the society, the old people will like to have an home or so that integrated model where they can be over there, and those people can even teach, those people can. Yes, one thing, Gulshan sir, which left, mess is a very integral part of Sainik schools. I don't know how I left somehow or the other, because once the 450 sit in one at one time, and with when the school captain says grace, clear, so this smile on everybody कि अभी खाना मिलेगा, ठीक है, that smile, and once he said what we are going to have, let's thank God, and then फटाफट चेयर्स पीछे और फटाफट बैठो, और ये देखो कि वो कटोरी में वो अगर चिकन है तो पीस है कि नहीं है, एंड इट्स ऑलवेज कि जो मेस में पहले घुस गया वो दूसरे का पीस उठा लेगा, अपने में डाल लेगा. तो हम कई बार बोलते थे, बेटा ये इतने से पीस से क्या तू हरकुलिस या दारा सिंह बन जाएगा, ठीक है, और मैंने लिटरली किया है कि कई बार अपने घर में वो चिकन बना के, बेटा ये ले, तेरा पूरा तू ही खाएगा, एंड नेक्स्ट टाइम आई फाउंड दैट पर्सन कि वो अपना भी दूसरे को शेयर कर देता था, कि बोला भाई ये ले ले. So mess, yes, is a very, very, as a decent place. क्योंकि हम भी जब स्टार्टिंग में गए, we were also bachelors and we were also dependent upon the mess, and yes, that mess boy, और उसको हम अपनी माँ की तरह, वो जो mess boy था उसको माँ की तरह हम लोग, और even the students, और कई बार स्टूडेंट्स के पेरेंट्स आके उसको कि भैया इसका ध्यान रखना, इसका ध्यान रखना, एंड ही यूज्ड टू फील वेरी प्राउड, mess boy, कि ये मेरे को बोल के गए हैं कि मैंने इसका ध्यान रखना है. तो ठीक है, but yes, mess, we feel that yes, that teaches discipline, that teaches how to have food and in a decent manner. That is one, no, that cannot be a learning. क्योंकि अभी देखिए न्यूक्लियर फैमिलीज है, एक एक दो दो है, कभी वो माँ खाना बना रही है, वो बच्चे को एक को खिला देगी, फिर वो दूसरे को खिला देगी, फिर तीसरे को खिला देगी. हार्डली कभी इकट्ठे होके बैठ के कभी खाना खाते हैं हम लोग. कुछ ने तो प्रैक्टिस बना रखी है, कुछ ने नहीं बना रखी, तो थिंग्स आर देयर, things are have to be taken over. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful to have you with us. Look forward for another interaction on some other